Woo! How's it going, everybody? Vaporinas and Vaporinas. Thank you again for joining me tonight. This is another segment I like to call Vaping with Laura. So, it's a story time. This is my vaping story. So, back when I was a smoker, because I was a smoker, it's not like I was a non-smoker and started vaping. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but originally vaping was created, I believe, personally, for smokers who want to quit, who can't seem to find an alternative. Now, granted, I tried everything. I tried the patch, which I was allergic to. My doctor refused to give me Shantex, said it didn't smoke much. I smoked about a pack and a half a day, but apparently he just didn't want to provide it. And there were some nasty side effects with Shantex, too. There was, suicidal thoughts and everything else going on with Shantex, and I heard a lot of horror stories. I'm kind of glad my doctor refused to give me Shantex. Alright, like I said, I was smoking about a pack and a half a day. I was very bad with my health. I couldn't really taste much of anything, which I didn't find that out until I started vaping. Once I started vaping, my taste buds just came back, and it was fantastic. Now, granted, when I first started vaping, it just, I coughed. There's no getting around it. Because when you first start vaping, you go like this, if you're a smoker, you go, and, well, see, it's not going to do anything to me now, but when I first started vaping, it did. I was coughing real bad. But the reason that I made the switch, because I did enjoy smoking. But the biggest reason I made the switch is, I'd have a hard time walking around doing my job. I'd have a hard time, really spending time with people. I was a mess. I smelled bad all the time. When I went on to vaping, I asked people that knew me, I'm like, did I really smell that bad? Because when you stop smoking, you start vaping, and you give up cigarettes 100%, you cannot stand that smell anymore. You can't. Because there was one time where I was drinking with some friends, and I decided, oh, hey, I want a cigarette. I took 2 puffs and I couldn't do it. It was just that disgusting. And I asked myself, why did I do this for so long? But you don't really notice that until after you quit. And I know how hard it is, I really do. Vaping worked for me, and I know it's worked for a lot of people on the Zambo Box community that I've talked with. And it's helped my husband, too. He has just started. So he's doing really well. He's almost at a month, so he's doing great with it. At first he fought me tooth and nail on it. He was like, no, I'm not doing it. No, I don't believe you. It can't make food taste better and drinks taste better and do all this wonderful stuff. But after he finally gave in and tried it, he was like, oh my God, you were so right. I can't believe that it smells and cigarettes smell and taste that bad. And they really do. It's all those carcinogens and everything else that's in them. And there would be times when I would get sick and I'd cough and cough and cough and be like floored almost and everything. And anytime I got sick, I absolutely hated it. Like, I couldn't breathe. There was wheezing and everything. It was terrible. I was unhealthy due to smoking and everything else. So I decided to make the switch, thanks to my coworkers that I work with. A lot of them are vapors, so they're like, yeah, Laura, you should totally try it. Some of them haven't totally given up cigarettes 100%, but I can say myself, I have. I'm on 4 months without cigarettes. Woo! I know everyone can get there. It takes a lot of willpower, and it takes a really good support system, and that's what Zambo Box gave me. That's why I'm always saying, hey, try Zambo Box, because I know how great they are. Once you get that subscription and everything else, as you can see, I have my Zambo Box boxes right there. So I am an avid supporter of Zambo Box, and I will have the link to get $10 off your first box in the description, because they saved my life. Because when I first started vaping, as I mentioned in my last video, I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know what ohms were, resistance, or all that other stuff that's included with vaping. I didn't know what RDA meant, RTA, and all that other stuff. Oh, excuse me. And I was like, a lost child in a candy store. Like, what do I choose? You know, because like I mentioned in my last video, my first vape store adventure did not go well. The lady gave me oils that weren't that great, and she tried to sell me an Alien 220 watt box mod. Now, my advice to any vape owners that might come across my video, do not, I repeat, do not treat a newcomer like, you know, a dollar sign. Don't see them and be like, ooh, money, 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 money. Don't be like that. Treat them like an individual. Really help them the best you can.
Don't be a Mr. Krabs.
You know, like my husband just said, don't be a Mr. Krabs. You know, don't be after the almighty dollar and how much money you can get out of these new vapors. They just want to find a real alternative to give up the icky sticks. You know, they're terrible. You know, over 9,000 chemicals, if not more, and everything else. And then there's the nicotine, of course, which you can still get nicotine in the oil. If you want to give nicotine 100%, just cut it out. You can do that too. You know, they have so many different versions. They have the Cigalites, which are like your Mark 10s, your Views, Blue Cigs, stuff like that have a cartridge. And then they have like the Ego battery ones, which is how me and my husband first started, which I had the I Just Start Plus, which was good. It was good, but it didn't give me the throat hit I really, really needed. That's why I turned over to sub-ohm tanks, which basically is like a mouth-to-lung hit. Or you can do a direct-to-lung hit if you want to do that. It's just, it varies on how you inhale. But when you first start vaping, you're gonna cough. You know, like you hear my husband in the background, he's coughing because he's vaping a little too much. But that's okay. I'd rather him be vaping than be smoking cigarettes, you know? Yeah, that's another thing too. Vaping will dehydrate you a little bit because of the PG that's in it. That's another thing too. Some people are sensitive to high PG. So that's why a lot of the e-juices out there are 70-30. 70 VG, 30 PG. 70 vegetable glycerin over the 30 Pauline glycol, or however you pronounce that. My apologies. I know that would sounded terrible. And me personally, I mean, I don't think I had a PG allergy, but when I did first start vaping, my nose got dried out a lot. So that's when I changed from the high PG to the higher VG. And I've been fine ever since. It's been great. That's the only thing though. I mean, I'm healthier. I can walk around. I can breathe. I can taste things. I can, you know, I am such an avid supporter of vaping. Truly. And, you know, like I mentioned in my other video, I am an avid supporter of people just starting out. You know, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask me. I mean, I'm not, you know, a pro, obviously. I'm learning new things every day. You know, that's the beauty of vaping. That's the beauty of life, is you get to learn new things every day. And, you know, my lungs are already healing from, I mean, a couple months ago, I did get sick. And that's around the time I first started vaping. I got a little cold, and I still got a little congested, but the, you know, other times when I got sick, when I was smoking my pack and a half a day smoking, when I got sick back then, I was floored. It was terrible. I was miserable. I mean, you're always miserable when you're sick anyway. But with vaping, when I had started and I had gotten sick, like about 2 months into vaping, the baddest cough I ever got was and that's not an exaggeration. That's as bad as it got. I mean, sometimes it'd be a little when the mucus would try and come up. I know that sounds disgusting, but we all know that it happens. You get sick, you gotta get rid of that mucus that's in like your lungs and your bronchial tubes and all that other stuff. So, I mean, but that was nothing. You know, I took some cough medicine, I took the normal cold medicine, and I was fine. I could work right through it. Before, when I was a smoker and I got sick, forget it. I would have to call out at least a day or two to recover because it would be that bad. And so, you know, this is my vape story. I am a huge supporter of it. You know, I was a very heavy smoker. I was killing myself. You know, vaping was a way for me to quit smoking. And I will never look back, personally. I mean, the flavors that, there's over like thousands and thousands of flavors. There's even a website you can go on and create your own flavor. Like, there was this one flavor when I first started vaping that I loved to pieces, but it only came in a little 15 ml bottle, and I would go through that in a day. It's that good. It was by Vape Wise, called Vanilla Cupcake. most amazing flavor I've ever had in my life. And unfortunately, nobody else from what I've seen has a vanilla cupcake.
MixSig.com.
At all. And like my husband just mentioned, it's mixsig.com. You choose your own size that you want, whatever percentage of each flavor you want. You can even name it. How cool is that? Like, seriously. And then, you know, they ship it to you. I mean, it's not expensive shipping. I've yet to try them out, so I can't say for sure how fast the shipping is and everything else, but it has intrigued me, so I am thinking about trying it out and letting you guys know how it is, you know, how, you know, good the flavor mixtures are and everything else, and how the packaging is and all that other wonderful cool stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's my vape story. I vape to be healthy. Because I was not healthy before. I vape for my family and my friends, you know. I didn't want to smoke anymore. And every time I tried something else, it didn't work. You know, I tried everything. The patch, the gum, everything. Just nothing worked. I mean, they even have toothpicks now with 3 milligram nicotine. I saw that on myfreedomsmokers.com. That's interesting. Because with a lot of people, it's the oral fixation. You know, and so a toothpick, you bring it up to your mouth, you stick it on the side, and you suck on it or chew on it, whatever you want to do. And that is sometimes enough for people. The heavier smokers, though, I mean, they're always coming out with, like, new things, like the Juul and the SMPO, specifically for the heavy smokers that can't seem to catch on to the vaping scene right away with the Cigalites or any of the other type products that are out. But I mean, I started with like an Ego type system, and then I got an updated version of that with the sub-ohm, and now I have the Voopoo Drag with the Valerian tank. And these really awesome bands I have, and on the purple one it says it's not smoke, it's vapor. You probably can't see it all that well, but that's what it says. And then this one up here I got with my Aspire Cleto 120, which says hashtag fight the vape, because as you guys know, we have to fight all the time with the FDA so that we can do this. So, you know, I mean, whoa, that's a big cloud. Sorry guys, couldn't see me there for a minute. But no, on a serious note, the FDA is always fighting us. I mean, you know, Big Pharma and all that other stuff. You know, it's unfortunate because this can really help people. Maybe, you know, not exactly box mod. Box mod is for, like, you know, if you want to get into like the more complicated stuff, but you don't have to. You could just stick with, you know, an IGS type thing, or, you know, you could do the Vapresso Nano Taro Mini, which has the same type of battery that the iJust Start S, the one that I was using for like 3 months before I got my Voopoo. And it has, you know, it's a little bit better than the iJust S, because I mean, you still got your wattage and stuff. My camera can't really focus on it all that well, but I mean, you still got your wattage and your temperature control, and you can actually charge this with a USB port, unlike the mods that use the dual 18650 batteries, like my husband's Sigelli that I got him. You know, if it has a dual or a single or any type of 18650 battery mod, you do have to charge the battery separately. But some people don't want to go to that extreme. Like, vaping for me now is more of a hobby. I have no desire to smoke. I mean, I can sit here and not vape. You know, I do it as a hobby and because it tastes really good. And, you know, sometimes the oral fixation.
Vape on, America.
So guys, fight for your right to vape, because we're under attack all the time. Go to places like CASA.org and really fight to vape. Take it to your officials and everything else. I do plan on doing a video in March. I plan on going to a convention, talking with some other vape enthusiasts, and, you know, I'm going to be uploading that and everything. It's really exciting, you know. Good things are coming, guys. I believe that, and you should too, because this is the future. It really is. So that is my vape story, guys. As always, smoking kills, vaping heals. So, vape on.